If we look back at the events of the past week, they turned out to be extremely eventful in terms of the developments in the Middle East. You were in The Hague. Tell me, please, do you think that Iran has abandoned its long-standing policy aimed at developing nuclear weapons? Or what would you like to see as confirmation of this? And what meetings with Iran are planned next week?
Iran wants to hold a meeting. Their facilities were destroyed. Those were very sinister nuclear facilities. Now it's already proven what they were. For some time, fake news was being spread. The same people who wrote that Hunter Biden's laptop supposedly came from Russia, the same people who created 3 or 4 other myths about Russia. Wait, listen. They came up with something to delay the recognition of the achievements of our outstanding pilots, these magnificent Americans. This is true talent. And they hit the target exactly, altitude 52,000 feet. Think about it, darkness, no moon, no stars, absolutely nothing is visible. And yet they hit, as they say, the bullseye. That was the size of the target. It was amazing, and only they could have done something like that. We also destroyed 2 more targets in addition to the main one. We finished them off. Their intentions were extremely dangerous. I believe, and time will tell, but I don't think they'll return to their nuclear program anytime soon. They spent over $1 trillion on nuclear development and achieved nothing. By the way, nothing was removed from these sites. This is extremely dangerous, very heavy materials. Those cars probably belonged to the construction workers, since they were pouring concrete on top of the hatch. This hatch led to the nuclear complex. They wanted to reinforce it, and there were masons working on site. By the way, that concrete was also destroyed. The impact hit right on the concrete. I think it didn't even have time to set. Now all of this is under millions of tons of rock. While negotiating
with Iran, you insist not only on a complete ban on uranium enrichment inside the country, but also on handing over all existing stockpiles.
It's a bit early for such terms, but something along those lines. We will act in that direction. Let me tell you, for 25 years now, even back when I was a civilian, I've been saying that Iran must not be allowed to have nuclear weapons. All of that has been destroyed. It will take them years. I think that was probably the last one. They have to recover after a tough war. Will you insist on full access for Magata to Iranian facilities? Or someone we trust, including us? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I hope that we can quickly agree on what stands out, and I can say that there is a genuine desire on the part of the Europeans and goodwill to draw a conclusion, but this goodwill should not be seen as weakness. We want to reach a conclusion quickly because it is in our common interest and it is good for the stability of international trade and for our business. But we do not want to draw quick conclusions at any cost. If, in the end, the choice of the Americans was to keep the 10% tariffs on our economy, then compensation for these tariffs on the goods and products that Americans sell on the European market would be inevitable. A tax on our producers will cause the same tax on their producers. Otherwise, we would be naive or weak, or both at the same time. And we are neither one nor the other. Sometimes I try to be nice. As for the gas, I felt that President Trump was very determined, very ready, and understood the importance of a ceasefire. And I think his commitment is very important in this matter. And I know that his team is set for ongoing discussions. And therefore, considering the drama unfolding there, I think it is absolutely necessary. But in the discussion I had, I saw a president who was truly aware of this and wanted to achieve results. And my desire is to do it as soon as possible. For me, the worst-case scenario would be if we leave Iran. After these strikes, which were really effective, the American strikes had real effectiveness on the waiting positions in Fordo, at Tanzim, and Isfahan. But the scariest thing is that the consequence of this will be Iran's withdrawal from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Therefore, it's mainly drift and collective weakening. And that's why in the coming days I want to engage our diplomacy to preserve the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, as well as to unite the 5 permanent members of the Security Council. I started with President Trump, and today I will continue with each of them. I have to go. Thank you very much. Thank you. There is a very beautiful group behind me. And thank you all for being here to support one of the most important pieces of legislation in the history of our country. And that's what everyone says, almost everyone. One big, beautiful bill to protect our borders, triple our economy, and bring back the American dream. That's also what's happening. He was met with tremendous approval. We thought about breaking it into 3 or 7 bills, and I said, let's make it one big, beautiful bill. Mike Verno? Today I signed this bill. Almost every major promise made during the 2024 campaign will already be fulfilled, and that's very important. Promises made, promises kept. They don't even want to hear about the border. Why is this fixed? This has happened for the 2nd time already. I mean, in 2016 I wanted the border. This bill will become the most important border legislation in Congress. We will hire 3,000 Border Patrol officers and 10,000 Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. And these people are doing a great job. Here's what I'll tell you. I've met many of them, and we have amazing representatives. They've been with me since day one. This is the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. The Democrats want to give you the biggest tax increase in the history of our country. They have things, whether it's the border or economic development, or no tax on tips and social security, no taxes on overtime, and all these different things. There's a lot here. We will cut spending by $1.7 trillion without compromising services. Including Medicaid, everything remains the same. Your Medicaid program and your Social Security will be strengthened. We are not cutting it, but the Democrats will destroy everything because of instability. In the end, they will cut your Medicaid in half. This is so important. So call your senators and congressmen. We need to get the votes. I want to thank you. You have been incredible, Mr. Speaker. You have worked around the clock for months and months. And, you know, I shouldn't say this, but we don't want the podiums to be where 1 or 2 people raised their voices. And they do it at the podiums. They know who I'm talking about. I urge them, we don't need podiums. We must take our country back and make it strong again, and our country will be stronger, bigger, and better than ever before. We are going to make it better than ever before, and that's despite the bad hand we've been dealt. Mr. President, can Congress get this done by the 4th of July? We hope so. Mr. President, what would you like to say? You have a part of it, right? You, Howard, and Scott are working overtime, making deals with people. I wasn't planning to, but I see Tom Heyman, and I need to call him. I'm not calling the Speaker of the House, I'm not calling Marco, or Peter, or anyone else. But I want to call this guy because he provides our very, very big security. I think the issue of this big, beautiful bill should be nonpartisan. I don't know what the hell happened to everyone in Congress. People are dying every day. Ace arrests 3 times more criminals than under Biden. Every day we remove threats to public and national security from the streets. There are more than 600,000 illegal immigrants with criminal backgrounds on the streets of the country, and we had fewer than 5,000 deportation officers. This shouldn't be a problem. Passing the bill increases the number of agents on the road. We get more transport runs, more agents, more arrests, bad guys every day. Daily arrests of those who threaten security make the country safer. Who would be against that? And it annoys me. I get angry because of meetings with angel parents. Do you want to talk about being separated from your family? They were burying their children. So, I've been doing this since 1984. I've worked with 6 different presidents. No one has had as much success as the Trump administration. Today, we have the safest border in the history of this country. Let's make this country safe again, regardless of party affiliation. Pass the law to ensure safety and stop violence against immigration and customs enforcement officers. Without this bill, it's harder to make the country safe. We have a lot of people to track for arrests and national security threats. For this, we need more agents and money. For God's sake, let's pass this bill and get it done. He got so angry that he didn't even shake my hand or look at me.